I wanted $500,000 lenses, Hawk anamorphics, like the one they use on shows like Shogun, where every 10-second scene looks like someone mortgaged their entire future just to rent the lenses. After watching the show, I thought, okay, I want that look, I want that distortion, I want that compression, I want that subtle, expensive-looking edge fall off. So I thought, they shot on anamorphics, I have anamorphics, I have C-ray ones. I tried to recreate it on the ones I actually own. It squeezed, it flattened, it technically worked, but it still looked wrong. It looked too clean, it looked too modern, too polite. And honestly, no matter what I did, my footage always felt like a budget cosplay of the real cinema lenses. So like any responsible videographer, I instantly thought, fine, let's buy them. So I went online, I typed Hawk anamorphic price, and when the numbers loaded, I discovered a new form of panic. Those lenses cost more than my house, more than my future houses, more than the multiverse of houses I'll ever be able to own. I'm not kidding you, if I sold my organs and my friend's organs, I'll still be short. So yeah, I wanted $500,000 lenses, but I needed another solution. And that's where I found Lensnode. Lensnode is a DaVinci Resolve plugin that simulates real lens behavior using measured optical data. Not an aesthetic preset, not a gimmick, not a fake vintage look filter. It uses real optical measurements to recreate distortion, field curvature, chromatic aberration, coma, bokeh behavior, bloom, vignette, basically the personality of real glass. And the best part is, it works on anything. Pocket 3, Lumix S9, Burano, Venice, what have you, even your phone. If it goes into Resolve, Lensnode can reshape it. Let me show you what I mean. This shot is from the Lumix S9, 25 frames per second, 1/50th shutter, f2.8 ISO 640 vlog. I'm also using my C-ray anamorphic lenses. Straight out of the camera, it looks alright, it looks clean, it looks modern, it looks like 1.6 times squeezed anamorphic. Perfectly fine. And when you bring it into Resolve and you de-squeeze it, you grade it, it looks alright. It looks semi-cinematic, but not expressive. Now I add Lensnode at the start of the node tree. Watch the edges, watch how straight line starts bending subtly, watch the bokeh. Watch the corners soften in a way that feels optical, not digital. Suddenly, this tiny hybrid camera starts behaving like it's wearing bigger, more interesting glass. Is it identical to a Hawk that I want? No. But it moves the image into the same family of behaviors, the same world of distortion, bloom, and fall off without spending $500,000. Now let's talk about where things get complicated. Anamorphic lenses, especially if you shoot 1.6 times anamorphic like I do. Lensnode does not currently understand anamorphic squeeze. It assumes the footage is normal geometry. If you apply Lensnode directly into a de-squeeze clip, things get weird very, very quickly. Here's the de-squeeze clip. This is a final 2.39 by 1 version after stretching it horizontally by 1.6 times. If I apply Lensnode now, the distortion goes sideways. It stretches in a weird horizontal way. Vertical lines look weird. Highlights smear across the frame. Everything looks like a broken plastic band. The plugin is doing its best, but it's doing the right math on the wrong geometry. Here's the correct way to use Lensnode with 1.6 times anamorphic footage, or any anamorphic footage for that matter. You keep the footage squeezed. You apply Lensnode while the image is still vertically compressed. Then you de-squeeze afterwards in a clean timeline. When I apply Lensnode to the squeeze clip, the distortion becomes symmetrical. Faces stay proportional. Coma, blooms radiate correctly. Edges fall off the way real glass behaves. The image breathes normally. Then once everything looks right, I de-squeeze it by 1.6 times, by 1.575. Okay, right, let's talk about that later. Now, the final 2.39 by 1 image has the true anamorphic geometry and believable lens character. So the workflow is simple. Keep it squeezed, add Lensnode, then de-squeeze. This gives you a much more realistic result. Still not true anamorphic modeling, but far better than applying Lensnode after the stretch. Now let's talk about performance and requirements. Because Lensnode is built on real optical math, it is a GPU-intensive plugin. And yes, your GPU fans will absolutely wake up when you push the thing hard, especially in 4K or 6K. But honestly, that's the price of accuracy. If you want real distortion, real blur behavior, and real aberrations, your computer is going to hate you for it. Now let's talk about something huge. Lensnode is incredible for not only camera work, but for VFX people as well. If you do keying, tracking, masks, any kind of compositing, you do not want the real lens character baked into your footage at the start. Real distortion wrecks tracking points. Real aberrations chew up key edges. Bloom ruins masks. Everything becomes unpredictable. But with Lensnode, you get to do everything clean. Shoot clean, track clean, composite clean, mask cleaner. And then right at the end, once your compositing is done, once your mask is done, once your keying is done, you add Lensnode to add personality. Now your CG and your live action footage share the same optical fingerprint. It feels like it went through the same glass. That's huge. Now the question, who is Lensnode actually for? If you like clean, sterile, modern optics, probably not you. But if you're the kind of person who pauses movies to study the camera, if you love imperfect glass, if you buy lenses for character, if you shoot on tiny cameras but want them to behave like cinema rigs, like big, vintage, expensive Hollywood glass, then Lensnode is a dangerously powerful tool. It lets you unify the look across multiple cameras. It lets you transform boring modern lenses into something expressive. Sony 35GM, I'm talking to you. And it gives you control over the exact level of character you want. It's slider-based, so you can dial in whatever character you want. You can even mix and match lenses, which is impossible in the real world. Does Lensnode perfectly clone a $500,000 lens set? Unfortunately, no. They don't even clone the lens set that I want. Lensnode, please clone them, the Hawk Anamorphics, the V-Lights, or the Class X's. But I don't think it needs to. That was never the point. The point is this. My modern anamorphic lenses now feel like they're bigger, richer, and more cinematic. My 1.6 anamorphic workflow finally looks correct, and I can dial in personality shot by shot. And when I combine Lensnode with a good log workflow and something like Phantom LUTs to nudge the colors towards an Alexa-style roll-off, I can at least pretend I'm shooting on something far more expensive than I really am. So no, I didn't get $500,000 lenses, but I did find a really powerful cheat code.